Here's what I've learned. You're never going to have the perfect setting, the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect hair, the perfect skin, the perfect body, whatever it is that you think you need in order to start doing what you need to do. It's never going to be perfect. Simply because perfection doesn't exist. In order to be able to even start doing what it is that you want to do, you have to release the expectation of it being perfect, because perfection is an illusion. Hey y'all, it's Kiki. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So I haven't uploaded a video in like, I want to say almost 3 weeks maybe. Normally I like to upload once a week. I like to, record my videos and then upload them as I go, right? But for some reason, my mind was just bombarded with thoughts that didn't even matter, right? I was having these thoughts of like, okay, you know what? I actually need a better camera. I need a better computer. I need a better editing app. I need, right? I was coming up, with every single excuse just to say, you know what, I can't record today. What I noticed was the more I kept coming up with excuses and reasons as to why I couldn't record, I kept pushing back the day that I was actually going to film content, right? i.e. procrastinating. And I fear that's exactly what perfection does. Or the thought of, not even the thought, but constantly trying to chase perfection just breeds procrastination. It's like we get so caught up in things that we believe we need to have and things that we need in order to be able to do what it is that we want to do and to make that thing happen and to reach that goal, etc. You get the whole shebang thing. It's like we tell ourselves we need all of these things before we can fully commit, before we can fully say, okay, you know what, I'm about to do the thing. Even if I don't have X, Y, and Z, it's like, okay, you know what, I'm not about to do this thing until I get everything on my list. And before you know it, you ain't did the thing because you're chasing something that does not exist. That's why you have people who say they set goals and they speak about things that they're gonna do, and then you look up 2-3 years later and they still ain't done it. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's that they keep finding these excuses and these reasons to convince themselves like, hey, you know what? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The fact of the matter is, the truth of the matter and the thing that we all need to accept, you're never going to be ready, but you have to do it anyways. You have to be willing to learn and pick up on the different mistakes and the different lessons as you go. Perfection is just not a thing. It's not a thing. And the longer you try your hardest to chase it, you are going to be waiting. You're just gonna be waiting. If you are somebody who is on TikTok, right? Y'all know TikTok went down for like 12 hours that day because they claimed they was gonna shut it down, right? Went down for 12 hours and then it just came back up. And I noticed that when I logged back into my TikTok account, I started seeing new faces on my For You page. And it was new people saying, you know what, like, this is it's my chance to start making content. It's my chance to start taking it seriously, whatever. And I feel like that's the perfect example of like trying to wait until something is perfect and you're gonna miss your opportunity to do that thing that it is that you really want to do. I think what people miss is like, instead of it being perfect, I think it just needs to be authentic and true to you. It doesn't have to be perfect, because like I'm gonna keep saying this until I'm blue in the face, but perfection does not exist. So it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be you. It needs to be true to you. It needs to be authentic to you. It literally needs to be you. Point blank, period. So one thing I learned just with this whole little, I guess, break I took, one thing I learned is that there's always going to be room for improvement. You're always going to be like, come back and think, okay, I can make this better. I could have did this better. I could have said this better, X, Y, and Z. There's always going to be room for improvement, you know? So that's something that you have to learn to accept, because I think people don't realize that when you are trying so hard to perfect every single detail in whatever project that you're working on, it's like you don't even realize that you put yourself in a cycle. Like you're literally just putting yourself on a loop, because it's like, okay, you fix this thing, now you're looking back over it, now you're finding something else to fix. Now you're looking back over it, now you're finding something else to fix. Now you're looking back over and you're finding something else to fix. And before you know it, you done spent 5-6 months on this thing that you were supposed to put out 6 months ago. You're supposed to been put it out, but it's been sitting in the vault forever because you just keep nitpicking at it and trying to find a way to just make it not be good enough. And that cycle is that cycle is that's just something that's something that like nobody really wants to be in. Of course, nobody wants to be in a constant cycle. Excuse me, a constant cycle of, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes. Okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes. Okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Girl, that procrastination is something else. I ain't gonna hold you. Procrastination. Hold on, girl. Get into the chocolate bus down. I don't know. But that procrastination is something else. But I also wanted to say that when it comes to chasing perfection, perfection not only breeds procrastination, of course, we know that, but it also breeds anxiety, stress, and then fear, because it almost starts to have you worrying about things that don't even matter and worrying about things that aren't even like now in the present moment. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you worry about how people are going to receive it, if people are going to like it, X, Y, and Z. So you hold on to this thing in order for it to be perfect, because you don't want anybody to dislike it. But the fact of the matter is, not everybody is going to like it. That's why I feel like it's important to do the thing that is most authentic and true to you. I feel like as long as you like and you love it, who cares? Like, if anybody else likes or love it, the people who it's for, they gonna rock with it, and the people that it's not for, they not gonna rock with it, and that's okay too. It doesn't. Oh, I'm finna use a word. Hold on, girl. It does not take away from your creativity. It doesn't take away from your drive, your ambition, your I guess your confidence, or just the power to actually just be confident enough to just put something, or the ability to be confident enough to just put something out and just be like, look, this is me. I'm proud of it. I don't give a fuck. For instance, like, I love to write short stories. I love to write stories. I love to write little cute, just like quick fix, you know what I mean? And of course, once you like finish a chapter, you want to go back and make sure there's not a lot of typos. Make sure you describe the scene good enough, or the dialogue was good, and things like that. But one thing I had to realize, or one thing I had to snap myself out of, was constantly like just sitting on it and constantly going back and changing everything every time I saw something wrong. Because I would have a chapter set and ready to go on Monday, right? And I could upload it by Monday. But my perfectionism, my constant need for perfection is like, okay, no, it's actually not ready for Monday. I'm gonna hold it out to Wednesday. And then Wednesday comes, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna hold it out to Friday. And then it never gets released. I just know that constantly striving for perfection, constantly just fighting to have every single thing in order, every single thing right, it's pointless. It's always gonna have you stuck, because when you are so caught up in something being perfect, right, it almost doesn't allow you, almost don't allow yourself to make a mistake or to mess up, which is just a part of the human experience. And so when you fight hard to be perfect, right, that's where the fear of trying new things come, because it's like it's almost like you psych yourself out of doing that thing, because you convince yourself that, okay, I know for a fact this thing is new to me. I know for a fact I've never done this before. So because I've never done this before, I know I'm gonna mess up, and I can't mess up because my whole identity is based on being perfect. I literally am like a perfectionist. So if I don't get this right, I'm not trying anything. Now you just in one place. Now you're stagnant. You're not moving. You're not progressing. You're not evolving. You're literally just in the same place you've been in forever and ever. And you're just going to be there until the lights go off. Let's just say you're a music artist, right? And you make music, but you also struggle with perfectionism, right? Eventually, that perfectionism is going to overwhelm you. And then where you once had the joy and the happiness and the fulfillment of being a music artist and being able to create your own sound, when that perfectionism kicks in, you become burnt out and you're no longer even enjoying it anymore, because you're not just doing it for the sake of expression or for the sake of this is something that I want to do. You're almost doing it for some sort of validation. That's how I feel it. I feel like people who strive to be perfect strive for some type of validation. Like there's some sort of like inner insecurity or inner doubt that they are trying to convince themselves that is not there. So they're fighting their hardest to prove to themselves and whoever else around them that they are perfect, they got everything right, they're doing everything right, etc. Babe, you're gonna be burnt out. And eventually you're gonna want to give up. It's not gonna be enjoyable anymore. It's not gonna be something that you use as a form of expression and a form of escape and just a form of like your own way of coping with the world, etc. You get so caught up in this perfection, it's like, yo, you know what? I don't even want to do this no more because I don't even think it's gonna come out the way that I want it to come out. And I don't think anybody's gonna like it, so I'm not gonna try it anymore. I feel like perfectionism has kept so many different creators and different artists and teachers and philosophers, etc., people that we actually need in the world. It's kept a lot of them hidden from the world because it's almost as if the lack of confidence, like it's a lack of confidence there. You feel like everything needs to be right. And if anything is out of place, then you're not good enough and it's not good enough and it never gets released. Now you're just sitting on ideas and ideas and they never see the light of day. Nobody deserves to like go through that. Nobody deserves to look up at the age of fucking 60, 70, thinking like, oh man, if only I had released this book, if only I had, made that YouTube channel, if only I had started this and da-da-da-da. Like, come on, for real. I do believe that perfection is subjective because what might be perfect to you is not gonna be perfect to the next person. And what might be chef's kiss to you may be trash, garbage to the next person. And that's okay. The validation has to come from within first, because when your identity and who you are and what you do is based on how if people like you or not, if people like what you do or not, it's like you gonna fall. Eventually, when you run into that one person who don't fuck with it, you're gonna fall apart. And I feel like that's where perfection sets you up for failure. No lie. Perfection literally sets you up for failure. It keeps you stuck, right? And then when you finally get the guts to let it to release whatever it is that you want to release or do the thing that you want to do, and you still have that mindset of perfectionism, it sets you up for failure because you're not even believing in yourself unless somebody is giving you a hand clap or a thumbs up. But I heard somebody say, if you live by the claps, you're gonna die by the boos. So do with that what you will. But the best part about it is, like, as you go, once you start, like, fuck it. Once you just start and just say, fuck it, this is all I got everything I need, I'm gonna just start. Once you start, the best part about it is you can improve as you go. For instance, like me, I talk too fucking fast. Sometimes I get to rambling, right? But because I pay attention to the way that I speak when I edit my videos and when I go back and rewatch them, as I go, I'm like, okay, you know what? The next time I shoot another video, let's just slow it down a little bit. Let's just slow it down. Let's just take some breaths in between the sentences, If it's a comma right there, pause. If it's a period, take a breath. That's simple, right? As far as like my writing goes, it's like, okay, you know what? I overused this word in this last thick, or in this last short story. So the next time I write something, I'm gonna try to, you know, up my vocabulary. Now it's like, okay, now I'm in a dictionary. Now I'm reading other books. Now I'm, you know what I'm saying, doing my research. I feel like as you go, you are going to improve because you are going to pick up on things that you can be better at. But the most important part about it is you have to start in order to do that. You can't just sit and just wait and wait and wait and just sit on these ideas that you have because you're waiting for the perfect moment. It don't exist. You're never gonna have the perfect moment, the perfect anything. Nothing's gonna be perfect. None of it. Start anyways. A year from now, you will be doing so much better than you was, you know what I'm saying, prior. It's like, I feel like even if it's slow progress, even if it's just a little bit of progress, progress is still progress. Whether it's slow, medium, fast, whatever, it's still progress. So with all that being said, I feel like what I had to really tell myself is, listen, like, the outcome is going to be the outcome, and it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to, as long as I do my part. I show up, I be consistent, and I do what it is that I need to do. It's going to come out the way that it's supposed to come out. Okay? And that is because I've learned to trust myself, I've learned to trust the process, and I've learned to just surrender. I don't need to fight for the perfection anymore because I know that it's not real. And I know that perfection is just something that prevents us from moving forward. So it's like, instead of striving for that thing that doesn't exist, I'm just going to be as real as I can, as honest as I can, as authentic as I can, and it's going to come out the way that it needs to, and it's going to reach whoever it needs to reach. And whoever understands it and digests it is for them. And if they don't, that's fine too. So yeah, I have not posted a video. I think it's been like I don't even know. It's been like 2 weeks. And my mom was just like, girl, I was coming up with every damn excuse not to film. And I'm like, literally, you're in a cycle right now. I'm gonna need you to hop out before it lasts longer than it's supposed to. Thank God it's only been like 2 weeks. Imagine if I would have just kept like coming up with excuses. Can't do this, can't do that. This not right, that's not right. So, yeah, stop trying to wait for the perfect moment. Hurry up and do it. Stop being a scary ass bitch. Oh, the last thing you want to do is look up 20 years from now and be thinking, man, what if? Like, if only I had did this. If only I had, like, done this thing. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not. Because, you know, I don't know, but, you know, it's always that one old head, that one older man or older woman bragging about what they could have been. If I had just really just stepped out on faith, boy, y'all would have been sick of me, but you didn't. And now you at the age of 60 talking about what you could have been and what you could have did. That's my whole shebang thing. Perfection is not real. It's so fake. It's all an illusion. It's literally an illusion. The key to escaping perfectionism is tapping into your authenticity. Because when you are being you, the right people will find you, the right opportunities will find you, and those who are not for you will get the fuck out the way. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.